Taka,
What is it?
why don't you just continue where we left off? If you don't, I'm going to be perceived as a crazy foreigner by the audience, and my popularity will go down, right?
Because that's true, isn't it?
What are you talking about? No, right? It's just that you gave a misleading and low-level explanation, and I was a bit hasty in expressing my opinion, wasn't I? You can still make up for it if you play your cards right, so do what's best for me. Sometimes your stupidity is truly disgusting. You should just get on with it. I don't have the time or the mental capacity to listen to your excuses.
Okay, Olivia, and I'll continue where I left off. I'll explain why Vietnamese crime is on the rise in Japan. Of crimes committed by Vietnamese nationals. The first is crimes committed by foreign students. In fact, many Vietnamese students come to Japan for the purpose of earning money rather than studying. In Japan, if you have a student visa, you are allowed to work part-time up to 28 hours a week. This is the reason why the number of fake foreign students who use their college student visas to earn money is rapidly increasing.
Foreign students in disguise? What does that mean?
They go to the trouble of borrowing money to come to Japan to study. Originally, college student visas were only issued to foreigners who had the financial ability to live in Japan without a part-time job. So, in order to make it look like they are financially strong, the fake students prepare fake documents showing their bank balance and their parents' income. The truth is that they don't have any money, and neither do their families. They go through the trouble of paying bribes to banks and government agencies via study abroad brokers to create a cover. And they rely on debt to pay for their study abroad expenses. The amount is around 15,000 United States dollars. This is a large sum of money, almost 10 times the annual income of the average Vietnamese, but he thinks he can easily pay it back by working in Japan. However, even after coming to Japan and working beyond the legal limit of 28 hours per week, the debt does not decrease.
That's not natural. It was originally a visa for language study.
As a result, more and more people disappear from the Japanese language schools where they are studying in order to avoid paying their tuition fees. There are also students who turn to crime to make a quick buck. Most Vietnamese students are not criminals by nature, but when they get into trouble due to a lack of money, they look at social networking sites on their smartphones and find that they are being lured by a plethora of bad offers.
In the end, they become criminals. They should think more carefully before they come to Japan to study.
Yes, they should, but many of them are so poor that they think they can make money in Japan somehow. And the truth is, Japan is aware of the tricks that fake students use to get their visas, so they accept them.
What? Is that so?
In Japan, there is an overwhelming shortage of manpower for low-wage, hard labor jobs. They want to use them as workers for such jobs. Some foreigners are willing to do hard work that Japanese people don't like.
This is the dark side of business targeting the poor.
The second is the pitfalls of the technical training system. The technical internship system for foreigners is a new system enacted in 2016 and implemented in 2017. The original purpose of this system is international cooperation, contributing to the development of people who can contribute to the economic development of developing countries by utilizing the skills, techniques, and knowledge learned in Japan. Furthermore, and this is an important point, the principle of the technical internship system clearly states that technical interns must not be used as a means of adjusting the demand for labor. The problem is that there is a huge gap between this philosophy and the actual situation. The types of work for which foreign technical interns can be accepted are specified as agriculture, fishery, construction, manufacturing, textiles, clothing, machinery, and metals.
What exactly does it mean that there is a huge gap between the concept and the reality?
The technical intern trainees who actually come to Japan, just like the Vietnamese who study abroad in Japan, come to Japan with large debts. Although these technical intern trainees come to Japan with support from the people around them, as well as hope and determination, in reality they are often confronted with a very harsh and unforgiving reality. In one case, the actual salary received by Vietnamese technical interns was about $3 United States to $4 United States per hour.
What is that? The minimum wage in Japan is about $9 United States, right?
That's right. Not all companies, but there are many companies that employ Vietnamese people on illegal pay scales. In addition to such low wages, there are many reports of poor working conditions and, in the case of women, insidious sexual harassment.
That's the worst.
Vietnamese technical intern trainees are forced to work in harsh conditions at many workplaces and are forced to endure illegal low wages, sexual harassment, bullying, and exploitation. There are many trainees who disappear because they cannot endure such a degrading environment. On the other hand, there are many decent companies that are conscientious and provide an adequate working environment. Some of the Vietnamese trainees who work for such companies manage to send a large sum of money to Vietnam from their small salaries. After completing the 5-year technical internship period and returning to Vietnam, in many cases, the acquisition of skills is only in name, and they only return to their home country with a small amount of savings, so it is difficult for them to feed back their skills in their home country.
So, in the end, they are being used by Vietnamese brokers and terrible Japanese companies.
Rather than transferring skills, there are some people who use the Japanese they learned in Japan to work for Japanese companies or develop businesses related to the Japanese language, but the reality is that there are many Vietnamese who escape the harsh working environment and engage in illegal activities.
I see. I finally understand why Taka was talking about Japan being at fault. I'm not from Asia, but if I or my family were so poor, I would probably dream of working in Japan, even if I had to borrow money to do so.
That's right. It is true that the number of crimes committed by Vietnamese is on the rise in Japan, and many people are victims of such crimes. However, there are many cases where crimes occur because of problems with the Japanese system or because the Czech system is not functioning satisfactorily.
As for me, I can't help but feel sick of Japanese politicians and citizens who have no qualms about increasing the number of immigrants and forcing foreigners to do jobs that Japanese people don't want to do at low wages. Isn't this the kind of thing that would get a lot of complaints from abroad? I don't think the Japanese people as a whole think this way, but the fact that they are promoting this policy on a national level is just not good.
If you have such a problem with Japan, why don't you go live in a country that isn't Japan?
If you get too carried away, I'll really choke you out. Why do I need to be warned by a stupid kid like you when I'm living my life the way I want to live it? Go take a dump and go to bed, dumbus.
I don't understand why you would use such language. However, I am sure that what I introduced here is part of the facts about Japan. Thank you for watching.